Hi friends, I am here to read you chapters 28 and 29 from Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. We're going to start with chapter 28. Now then, said Mr. Lemoncello, are you ready to play risking everything for 5 little library cards? Kyle swallowed hard. And then he nodded. All right, you maniac McGee's. Here is your picture puzzle. The category is famous quotes. You have 60 seconds to solve this rebus. Wait a second, said Akimi. What's a rebus? You figure that out in a phrase by you figure out the words in a phrase by looking at the pictures and the symbols, said Kyle. Kind of like our word plays, you guys. For instance, added Miguel, the letters R and E plus a picture of a school bus would equal rebus. Oh, okay, said Akimi. If you guys say so. Are you ready to play? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Kyle looked at his teammates, who nodded. Yes, sir. Then, on your mark, get set, go, dog, go! Mr. Lemoncello's image disappeared. Tick-tock clock music started playing, and the video screens all projected the same picture. I'm going to show it to you guys so that you can pause it and see if you can solve it. So go ahead and pause your screen and see if you can solve this yourself. Okay, I just paused it and solved it. I'm very proud of myself. We're officially dead, said Akimi. 55 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Okay, we need to break up 4 ways, said Kyle. The first and third rows are similar. I'll do them. I'll do the last one, said Akimi. I'll take the second row, said Miguel. I'm 4, said Sierra. 50 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello, and everyone went to work. Mine is some guy hitting himself in the thumb, but with a gur and an O, muttered Akimi. Then the male symbol where the LE equals RX. Marks? Does that make sense? Hello, Kyle, is my second half Marks? Kyle didn't answer. He was way too busy deciphering his own clue lines. Outlet, change the let to side. He mumbled. Golf, minus the G and the L. The letter A. 40 seconds. Dog. He dropped to the third line. He just needed to find the first word. Bowling pins without the P, but had the I'd. 30 seconds. Kyle glanced at Miguel. He was moving his lips, mouthing out his part of the quote. Sierra, too. Are you guys ready? Kyle whispered. Hang on, said Miguel. 20 seconds. Okay, go. Kyle, read the first line. Outside of a dog, Miguel picked up the thread. A book is a man's best friend, Kyle continued. Inside of a dog, Sierra took over. It's too dark to read. Akimi brought them home. Groucho Marx. Is that your final answer? Said Mr. Lemoncello. Yes, said Kyle, and then he repeated the entire quote. Outside of a dog is a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx. Bells rang, chaser lights flashed. The audience went wild. Akimi and Sierra actually squealed and hugged each other. You are correct, shouted Mr. Lemoncello. There's no dead end in Norvelt, not today. Take those 5 library cards, Team Kyle. You won them fair and square. Charles and Andrew heard a commotion on the 3rd floor, bells ringing, an audience whooping it up, and girls squealing. Come on, said Charles. They raced up the stairs and peeked into the electronic learning center. Kyle Keeley and his teammates were all hugging each other and slapping high fives. On every video screen in the game room, Charles could see a pictogram puzzle. What's going on in there? Whispered Andrew. They might be gaining on us, Charles whispered back. We need to pick up our pace. Quick, where would I find a book called Hoosier Hospitality written by Eve Healy Arsty? The 900s room. Let's go. Charles and Andrew scurried back to the 2nd floor of the 900s room. When they found Haley Daly holding Hoosier Hospitality by Eve Healy Artsy, oh, hello, you guys, she said, slamming the book shut. Charles moved toward her slowly. Find anything interesting in that book, Haley? Not really, she giggled. Just a bunch of dumb junk about Indiana. That's because Hoosier is the mascot of the Indiana College. I went to Indiana University, you guys, and Hoosiers are the mascot of Indiana, so that's why Hoosier Hospitality is about Indiana, if that makes sense. Hope it does. Charles knew she was hiding something. I wonder, Haley, if you and I might share a quiet word. He turned to Andrew in private. Does that mean that I'm supposed to leave? Yes, Andrew. It's for the good of the team. Trust me. Okay, but I'll be right outside the door if you decide to double-cross me or something. Thank you, Andrew. This will only take a quick minute. Peckelman left the room. Smile. Charles moved even closer to Haley. So close that he could smell her bubblegum. Or her shampoo. Or maybe both? Let's step over here, he said, taking Haley by the elbow. I found another fascinating book that I think you'll just love. He guided her to a spot behind the bookcase where their conversation couldn't be observed by the security camera that was blinking up in the ceiling. Haley went with Charles. If he had been looking for the same book she just found, that meant he was playing the library escape game along a similar path. Charles Tiltington might have clues Haley could use, clues that she needed. Rumor has it, Charles whispered, that your parents wrote your library essay for you. Inside, Haley was grinning. Obviously, Charles would try to bully her into joining its team. Fine, she'd pretend to be frightened. What? She whispered back, pretending to be terrified. That's a lie. My dad just helped me with some of the spelling. Aha, so you admit it. All the spelling in your essay wasn't your own? Okay, this was going to take more acting skill than usual. Having someone check your spelling wasn't against the rules for anything. She widened her eyes and made her lips quiver. What do you want, Charles? For you to join my team. Well, why should I do that? 2 reasons. 1, if you're on my side, your flagrant plagiarism remains our dirty little secret. 2, I know what to do with that silhouette card you just found in the Hoosier hospitality book. You do? Oh, yes. If we share our clues, the pictures will create a phrase telling us how to find an alternate exit. Haley smiled. For real. This was working out perfectly. She'd get all of their clues, and even if they all went together, Mr. Lemoncello would definitely make her a real star of his TV commercials. She had pizzazz. Charles and Andrew did not. Okay, she said. Deal. I'm on your team. And then she handed Charles the clue that she found in the Hoosier book. Of course, said Charles. After all, Indiana is the Hoosier state. So that's a picture of the state of Indiana. Chapter 29. Oh man, said Kyle, leading his team around the balcony back to the young adult room. 9 library cards. This is fantastic. They gathered around a table. Okay, guys, time for everybody to put their cards on the table. Literally. Their teammates set down their cards, and Kyle spread out the 5 from the discard bowl. Akimi pulled out a pad and wrote all the information on one master list. Books/authors on the backs of library cards. Number 1, Miguel Fernandez. Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan W. Eckert. No David by David Shannon. Number 2, Akimi Hughes. One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss. The 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Number 3, Unknown. Number 4, Bridget Wadge. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Number 5, Sierra Russell. The Egypt Game by Zilpha Petey Snyder, and The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Number 6, Yasmin Smith Snyder. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. The Yak Who Yelled Yuck by Karen Pugliano and Martin. Number 7, Sean Keegan. Olivia by Ian Falconer and Unreal by Paul Jennings. Number 8, Unknown. Number 9, Rose Vermette. All of a Kind Family by Sydney Taylor. Scat by Carl Hyacin. Number 10, Kayla Corson. Anna to the Infinite Power by Mildred Ames, Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Number 11, Unknown. And number 12, Kyle Keeley. I Love You, Stinky Face by Leah McCourt, and The Napping House by Audrey Wood. Wow, said Sierra. That's a lot of good books. But what do all those authors and titles mean? It means that we need Charles and Andrew's and Haley's cards, said Kyle. Really, said Akimi? Because if you ask me, we already have way too much information. Well, said Kyle, maybe we'll find a clue that'll tell us how to read this clue. And how are we going to do that? Asked Miguel. Have you ever played this? Kyle pointed to the Bibliomania box. Nope, but I always wanted to. We were just about to get up a game. Does this have anything to do with finding our way out of the library? We sure hope so, said Akimi. Awesome. By the way, Kyle said to Miguel, what'd you find in that art and artifacts room? Yeah, said Akimi, all those papers you kept trying to hide from us. Miguel grinned. The original blueprints for the Gold Leaf Bank building. Clever, said Kyle. That way you could look for old exits that might still exist behind new walls. Exactly. Find any extra exits? Said Akimi. Nope, and no hidden windows either. Yeah, what's up with that? How come they built this place with so few windows? To discourage bank robbers, I guess, said Kyle. Yep, said Miguel. The only way in was through the front door. The fire exits could only be opened from the inside, like at a movie theater. The vault itself was all the way down in the basement. Mr. Lemoncello kept all of that security, said Kyle, and he even added his own. So it would seem. Well, hopefully Bibliomania will lead us to some kind of alternate exit. And fast, said Akimi. Don't forget, we're not the only ones playing this game. One of those other guys is probably halfway out the door already. Okay, said Kyle. Gameplay is pretty simple. You spin the spinner and advance your piece the number of spaces the needle points to. You move around the library and go to each of the 10 Dewey Decimal rooms, where you can pick up a book by answering a clue card. If you guess wrong, you get a new clue card in the same room on your next turn. The first person to fill the 10 slots in their bookshelf and spin their way out of the library wins. It's sort of like Trivial Pursuit, said Sierra, and the questions aren't all that hard because they're mostly multiple choice. Let's hear one, said Miguel eagerly. The cards were separated into 10 multicolored mini stacks, one for each room. Kyle grabbed a green card. Looks like this to me. The green card. Okay, this is for the 800s room, which literature and rhetoric, I believe is what it says for 800. Deathly ill and pursued by the ring wraiths, Frodo Baggins was carried safely across the River Brunnen on the gleaming white elf horse of Glorfindel named A. Asphodel, B. Asvaloth, C. Amararian, and D. Anglachel. Sorry, you guys. I read Harry Potter more than Lord of the Rings. Don't be mad that I pronounce those so bad. Akimi shook her head like she was having a brain freeze. What? I think the answer might be A, said Miguel. Those are all A's, said Kyle. Asphodel, it's B, Elsfalorf, said Sierra. It's from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Kyle flipped the card over and read the answer. You are correct. You get a copy of Lord of the Rings to put on your bookshelf. So, Kyle, said Akimi, how exactly is knowing the name of an elf horse going to help us get out of this library? Maybe it's like a secret code, suggested Miguel, and the 10 titles will form a sentence telling us how to get out? Possibly, said Kyle, but I see one problem. What's that? It's too random. Mr. Lemoncello would have no idea which 10 cards we might pick. Well, said Sierra, there are only 10 questions, one for each room. Akimi grabbed the card stacks and fanned them out. Nope, they're all different. Hang on, said Kyle. He was remembering something about another game, Mr. Lemoncello's indoor-outdoor scavenger hunt. How his mother had been able to write the company and request a fresh set of cards. He turned to the video camera mounted in a corner. I'd like my librarian consultation, please. What's up, Kyle? Asked Miguel. I'm playing on a hunch. The holographic Mrs. Tobin appeared behind the young adult librarian's desk. How may I help you, Kyle? My friends and I want to play Bibliomania, but we were wondering, is there a new set of cards? Yes, Kyle, there is. And a fresh deck of cards popped up through the slot in the desk. That's the end of chapter 29.